Just before we start, I just wanted to mention one thing quickly. Helos & Co. and Sporting Club Helos are independent missions. They're both run solely by myself. So if you could like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, it would mean the world. Check out helosandco.com. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. All right. Let me set the scene. Somewhere in the first week of 2005 at 168 Hawkesbury Road, myself and the man across from me walked into the same classroom. I think he was friends with a kid named Riley, and I was friends with a kid named Callum. And we probably traded sandwiches and tiny teddies and whatnot and roll-ups. And since then, we stayed friends. We had a biff, I think, in year 7 maybe at one point.
Yeah, probably.
I can't remember what it was about. Anyway, we used to have sleepovers, and then we got older, and he was like a prodigy rugby league player, and I got chubby after I quit AFL. And then we ended up back together as life went on. We started playing golf with our good friend Riley when he was back down, and we delivered pizzas together. We both got university degrees together. We've done dude, this is our third one.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations. First hat trick.
Oh,
well done, man.
Congratulations.
First hat trick of Helos Homies.
Every time I've done it, it's been better and better as well.
Yeah,
Upgrades.
110%.
It's mad.
I'm here with Jake Ayers.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. How are you, brother?
How the tables have turned. It was me playing rugby league, you being chubby, and now you're a Sunday league prodigy, and I'm chubby.
Hey, dude, if you're watching, you'll be like, what the fuck is he on about? And rightfully so.
I love Sunday league. I was thinking about it on the way here, actually. I want you to do like an edit of like some ramped up song, like Bullets with Butterfly Wings or something, with you running out in the field and then just Tallis launching a ball and some guy's nuts and fucking you decking someone and be like, red, red.
I'm getting mic'd up next year, eh?
I love it.
I want to mic up Peter, bro.
Yeah.
Because Peter told me to fuck off at one point this year.
Yelling at him to run.
I was just, Ollie was our goalkeeper. Ollie's the Jamie today. Ollie would know, like, I was just kind of like telling him what to do, and then he just snapped at one point because Ollie, as the goalkeeper, is telling the defenders what to do. And then I'm the captain in the middle, and I'm telling him, and I was telling him a different thing to Ollie. He turned and goes, fuck off. Ollie told me to do this. And I was like, oh, shit, so bait. But, bro, I want to mic him up, and I want to do, like, you know how the American college does, like, those edits of, like, in the locker room and, like, pump up and shit? I want to do one of them in our, like, dinghy as at St. John's Oval.
Fucking oath.
Cheer the boys up for the first game of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to do content every week.
I love that.
Speaking of content, that's how I reckon that's how we kind of like rekindled this year.
Yeah. 100%.
More than anything.
I think so.
In March.
Yeah. About that.
When did you hop on the pod? You hopped on before it officially launched, but you still had people in there, eh?
I did that first show last year, so it would have been April.
No, not like this one, this year.
Oh, this year would have been before, like early May.
Before grand opening.
March. Yeah.
People had, but
March, April.
Few people already in there.
It was, a couple of people that were there, were building it.
Yeah.
So it would have been like end of March, early May.
Yeah.
Sorry, end of April, early May.
So I think Atkins put up stories of the empty space. Yeah. And then I think I reached out to you. I was like, let me come through.
Yes.
And dude, you know what? I was thinking about it today. Those are some of the funnest days. I was in there on Mum's birthday.
Yeah.
And dude, those were some of the funnest fucking days we had in there, I reckon.
Yeah, it was good, eh?
And there was like days where it was like myself, yourself, Lockie, Chief, and then like no one else was in there because like everyone, all the actual people that work for BodyBuilder were at the shop still. Yep. Yeah, and we were just cleaning and I don't know, we're just doing dumb shit all day.
It's so impressive to see because like it was a full day of cleaning and everything, and then at the end of it, at like 10:45 at night, you're like, I've done this edit. And half of it's like you just filming everyone. No one knew you were actually filming or doing anything, and it was fucking clean. That was our first bit of actual content. And it was nice.
Yeah.
Still one of our best videos.
Yeah, shout out to Stan for his editing skills. You almost killed me the other day. It sent me in a cardiac arrest.
I told him, and then he immediately put up a story.
Yeah, I seen that. I'm going to kill this bloke. And I seen that. Fuck. For those listening, Stan just does held hand content. He doesn't give a shit. But that's how you build a brand, very personalised. And yeah, people started to come in, and it was pretty crazy, like watching this, like, because I came in, there was a few, those machines got taken out, eh?
There was
just dust on everything. Yeah. Shit was being sanded. Yeah. There was just like...
It was a mess. So there was a select few machines we kept. Yeah. Got rid of all their octagons and punching bags, and that freed up like 80% of the floor space, which was just covered in dust and shit and cockroaches and dead stuff. Yeah. And then we had to sand all the walls back too, which put dust everywhere again. And then
we're at painting. That's what we were at. That's what everyone else was doing while we were just mucking around, essentially. And for those listening, 1,500 square meters, right?
Yep.
And watching it like come to life, dude, was like crazy.
Yeah, it's full on. It's very quick too.
Yeah, it was like a month.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll close. That gym was total closed for 4.5 weeks or something. Just over a month. From like doors closed to people training, which is mad.
Yeah. Because, dude, it was just like every night for like, I feel like 2 or 3 weeks there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was non-stop.
There was just like a group
people
of
were
us.
there on Easter Monday or Easter Sunday, like hooking in, like 16 people living the shop over.
Yeah. Like Yanni.
Yeah.
Rico.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to shout out Rico, Ground Up Carpentry.
Yeah.
Mr. Arletos Plumbing and Construction.
Yeah.
They hooked in. But see, Rico did that whole fit out in like 2.5 weeks.
Nuts.
It was a massive job. Not only that, we got quoted a ridiculous amount. He came through and he's like, nah. It's like 25, 30 grand less and did a premium job.
Yeah.
It was mad. And quick too.
In Atkins as well.
Yeah, Lockie's just...
He's a different animal,
does not stop, eh? Like there was a machine we wanted in Nowra. And he's like, yeah, I just got to do a uni assignment, so you drive. And I was like, oh, yeah? And he's like, yeah. So we went down at like midnight to Nowra, drove. It was like school night or work night the next day.
Yeah.
He's sitting there on his computer doing an assignment just because I needed a ute. And he would come down with me and do that sort of stuff. The sort of stuff that I like would never ask anyone to do. He'd put his hand up to do.
Yeah.
It just helped so much.
Yeah, and then it just, dude, just thinking about it. And then like people started coming in. And then we did our podcast and that was kind of acting. That was like my way of trying to contribute in a sense of people understanding the space.
It helped heaps.
But when I think about the space now, it's not different. It's just more polished.
Yep.
So for those listening, if you're on Henry Street and you walk into BodyBuilder Health Club, straight away you have a counter for those listening. And at that counter, you can get shakes and all that.
Yep.
And then to the right, you have the shop, which is supplements, weigh-ins, like PT stuff, clothing.
Yep.
And then in between that is just like the opening to the gym. I say an opening, it's not. It's just the whole floor is open to you.
Yep.
And there's, bro, like that space is nuts.
Yeah, it's big.
How many machines would you have in there? Over 100?
I think we bought about, total so far is about 85, and there was already 36 in there. So a bit over 100. So 110, 115.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's heaps.
And then you walk through the gym, and if you stay on your right-hand side, you eventually pop into the posing room.
Yep.
And then over the other side, you got the caged area.
Yep.
Which is perfect for like PTs.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, stretching, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I just bought a massive like functional rig system to go up on that wall. So it's got like all the squat racks, lat pull downs, seated rows, that sort of stuff.
Shit, yeah.
Which is a good story behind that. Get into it later.
And then we got the two, you got toilets on either side of that wall to separate. And then just past the men's toilet to the left, you go into the sauna.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy to have in there as well.
Yeah.
On top of everything.
And then next to that now we have creche as well. So
for kids.
Minding, yep.
Yeah, dude, that's
which
unreal.
It's Monday.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So in terms of like, does that just allow like a mum to put the kid in there?
Yeah, 100%. So if you're a single mother or something, or your husband's at work or something like that, you pop in, we'll look after your kids while you do your session. We've got like a childminder in there that has years and years of experience with kids as a teacher, like child minding, childcare, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Toys, kid shit, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, heaps of it. It's not my expertise. She set up the whole thing. She's incredible.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, she brought all the toys in, did it all. So it's all set.
Dude.
So like you don't have to worry about your kids.
That's crazy, eh?
Yeah, especially because it's loud in there, like all the slamming weights, and like it's not a good place for a kid.
Yeah.
But that's like a little haven for them.
Yeah.
Which is mad.
All the music as well.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So they can go in there, chill out, keep calm, actually play with some toys, and like she'll do activities and stuff with them as well. So she can like teach them things, do that sort of stuff. And then by the time your session's done, you just come pick them up, take them.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, it's mad.
And then like end of June it opened, right?
Yep.
But before that, probably like my favorite stories are like, I don't know. My favorite parts was when there was like 3 of us in the gym and we're just moving shit around, cleaning shit, just like, I don't know, bro. It's hard to explain to people, but like when you're physically building something and you see like
progress.
Yeah, and then it comes to life.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, how many people were there on open day?
Like in and out throughout the doors for the whole day, probably about 400 or 500.
Like it's nuts.
Maybe more, yeah.
To see that many people come in just in that space of a day.
Yeah, we had pros flying down from Queensland, like everyone travelling from ages away, people travelling from Melbourne up just to come to the grand opening, which is cool.
Yeah. Dude, that guy on a wheel, that
Lawrence.
arm wrestler.
Arm wrestler wheelchair. Yeah, he's crazy.
This guy was an arm wrestler. He was in a wheelchair, man, and I don't think he lost.
No, he doesn't.
I was watching him,
He
mate.
snaps arms.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care. He's constantly trying to get me to arm wrestling. I was like, nah. He's like, I won't take it easy on you. I'm like, I know. That's why I'm not doing it.
And then Mike Pearson was there.
Yeah, he's a big man.
He's probably the biggest man I've ever met.
I've
met some big men.
One of the biggest bodybuilders in Australia. He's about 145 kilos or something ridiculous. And lean.
And lean. Yeah, I was about to say, I know a few boys on that size.
Yeah, no, he's lean.
Yeah, nuts. Bro. He looks like the Big Show.
Yeah.
Just a cut.
Yeah, he'll wear like a quadruple XL flanny and it'll be tight on his arms.
It's just nuts.
But he's also very humble as well. Like he'll never rip his shirt off in the gym. You never see him training in a singlet. He's always trackies, 45 degrees trackies. He'll have a singlet, a shirt, a jumper, and a flanny all on top.
How come do you reckon he does that?
He just isn't a show off. Like he just doesn't care. Like if he's going to show himself off, it's going to be on stage. Yeah. He's not in the gym to be a bodybuilder. He's in the gym to train and progress. So for him, like the big show is on stage. Yeah. Which I really rate because a lot of guys can't like fight the ego to do that.
Especially with TikTok, man.
Oh yeah. Bro, they walk into the gym with the shirts off straight away.
Yeah.
And like won't worry about getting a pump. He just doesn't care, which is mad. But he also doesn't have to prove anything either.
Yeah. And there was a few other bodybuilders there as well.
Yeah, heaps.
And there was just heaps of people there. You're giving out free shakes and whatnot.
Yeah. Free shakes, free casuals, free this, everything, whatever.
Dude, it was fucking awesome, mate. That was a cool day, man.
It was a great day.
Yeah. How'd you feel like seeing when you open the gym, it's this 1,500 square fucking meter thing. It's with a co-ownership with your boss.
Yeah.
Well, what was now a business partner.
Yep.
And then, bro, like just seeing so many familiar faces rock up to your business.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, that's why I think it was very surreal because they're all my mates. So it's just like they were coming to celebrate the day with me.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it was like my gym they were coming to or anything like that. It just felt like everyone was coming to celebrate the day, which was mad. And because like we have a really good community, even the people I didn't know, it felt like I knew them a bit. They were coming up, chatting, having a talk, that sort of stuff. So it was a really good day. But then it hit me like 3-4 days later. That's when I was like, fuck, it's a good gym. Like we did well. And then that's when I was like, people were actually like really signing up and really enjoying it, like good feedback. I got a lot of honest mates like yourself and stuff who will tell me if something's like not great. And even they were like being pretty good.
Yeah.
Like happy with it, which is good. That's my biggest insecurity was like it was going to be a shit gym.
No, it's a great gym.
I appreciate that.
I've taken up running. That's why I don't go if anyone gets on my case that watches and knows me. And they're like, Falk's never fucking now. I've taken up running, man. Jake knows that.
I do.
Yeah, dude, watching it like the open day, it was so cool seeing so many people, so many walks of life, and just like, how do I word it? A lot of people there to improve themselves in one capacity or another.
Yeah.
And you and Stan are like kind of leading that in a way.
Well, that's the most impressive thing is like if you go to most gyms, you'll see kids just throwing weight around, lifting like crazy, hurting themselves, things like that.
Ego lifting, they call it, don't they?
I don't see that at all. I walk in, there'll be a young kid, 15 years old, doing tempo training, slow controlled reps, 6 kilo dumbbells. And it's because they'll watch the video we post or they'll come and actually ask for advice and they'll listen. Because a lot of kids, like they get that little bit of knowledge and they shut themselves off to the rest of it because they assume that's enough. And it never is. And they'll just stop listening and they'll keep doing that. They end up getting hurt, but I haven't seen it yet. Like we haven't had one proper injury at the gym. We haven't had anyone punch on with like ego or anything like that. We haven't had to kick anyone out really, which has been mad. Yeah. Everyone's just listening, learning. Everyone wants to be better, which is very underrated.
It is very underrated.
It's a gym that people are actually growing at.
And it's an independent gym, man. It's kind of like that LA era.
Yeah, got absolutely no loyalty. I'll get whatever machine from whatever brand if it's better. We're not going to censor ourselves or try and be corporate or anything like that. Just do what we want.
Yeah, because it's kind of been lost, that whole culture. That whole culture that a lot of people admire, that Arnie culture. Yeah. Ronnie even, like Tom Platz. Even like for me, bro, if you're watching, you know I'm not a bodybuilder by any means. But like that culture is cool to watch. Yeah, that aesthetic was really cool. Yeah. The way they operated, the way they trained, the way they speak is contagious. Yeah. And I feel like we lost that. I felt it kind of got lost and we didn't really have a version of it. So it was cool to kind of contribute to that. Even though it's not my scene, I'm fascinated by it. And it's cool to see like people like yourself and Stan speak their mind, also live by the diet, live by the training and understand like what it takes to, you know, build that fucking physique. Like it's not.
I think it's because no one trains out of passion anymore. They just train to do it. They want to be that bodybuilder, but they don't actually like the process or the training or the food or anything. So they're just doing it to do it. Whereas back then they were the first doing it. They weren't looking at anyone else. Like Arnold wasn't watching people and be like, oh, I want to be like that. That's what I want to be like. He's doing his own exercises, eating his own food, doing what works for him. I think that's the big problem is everyone sees TikTok, it's like, oh, I want to be like that guy, so I'll do what he does. And they're not doing their own thing. They're just lifting how that guy's lifting. Yeah. It's not out of passion.
Yeah. And I feel like corporate gyms just kind of took away that culture.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Or franchise gyms, I should say.
Yeah, the idea behind it is you just scan in, go do your workout by yourself. You don't talk to anyone. A lot of people go to those gyms because they can go in the middle of the night and no one's going to speak to them. They're set and forget gyms. So they don't update their equipment and they don't actually talk to you. Like me and Stan are there 6 days a week walking around talking to people.
Yeah.
So if something's going on in the gym, we'll know straight away. If a machine breaks, if someone's not happy, if someone wants advice, they can come straight up to us. And we can help progress that culture forward. Whereas most club, I don't want to name drop Club Limes, fuck Club Lime. I
don't want to name drop, but fuck them.
Yeah, right. You'll never see an owner in that gym.
Yeah, 100%.
They probably don't even know what suburbs their gyms are in.
Yeah.
And that's the big problem is like our gym is our life. So we're going to make sure it's 100%. They've got 50 whatever clubs around Australia. They don't care. One could lose money. Whatever. Drop it, go to the next one. They don't care about the people at the gym, anything like that.
Yeah, they've got a lot of push in marketing. You guys don't have to push as much.
Nah, not at all.
You got more of a pull.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just naturally by the culture and the people there, it's kind of like people will go to Body Beyond like in their own time type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's just been cool to watch, you know?
Yeah.
It's been fascinating to watch. And like, I go in there sometimes now to visit you or whatever, do a photo shoot, and like it's pumping at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday, which is like, that's the time you want to see a gym pumping.
100%.
You know?
The dead times. No other gym's got anyone in there, but we've always got someone, which is good.
Yeah.
Like also, every now and then I'll get a message at 4 a.m. Someone's like, oh, hey, bro, the music's off. Because like something will go on. I'll be able to wake up, turn it back on. And I'll look at the cameras and there'll be 6 or 7 people in there.
Yeah.
Or like I'll see like you see who arrives throughout the morning and there's one person in there every hour, every 30 minutes throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
So there's a subset of people that come at 1 a.m, 3 a.m, night shift workers, things like that. There's always someone in the gym, which is good.
But I learned that when I was at Any Time at Springwood, when I was 18, and Dom and I would work. Dom wasn't a carpenter yet.
Yeah.
This is our friend Lil Baby D, biggest Beetlejuice fan there is. Bit of Beetlejuice in him as well.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Beetlejuice in him.
And we were going at like 11 p.m. onwards. And bro, like some days we got like 12 or 1. And the people that would be in there just like railway workers, tunnel workers, parents who just that's their only time and like they're getting to themselves and they're putting. I just learned that then. I was like, wow, a lot of people are actually so dedicated to this shit.
100%.
And yeah, you realize how many people like the gym acts as like an escape for a lot of people, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
just the biggest antidepressant in the world.
Yeah,
it's just physical exercise. Doesn't even have to be the gym. It's just where most people go to do it.
Yeah.
But like depression, anxiety, stress, ADHD, everything the gym fixes.
Yeah.
Without having to medicate or do any of that stuff.
Yeah, get in there and pump some fucking iron, you know?
You fucking send it.
Are you going to do any comps out of Body Beyond?
We thought about it. Like we spoke
about... Or like
about,
PB days or something?
Yeah. We did, for our grand opening, we did a bunch of like competitions and stuff. It's a fine line, but because you can't have people just rocking up and getting injured.
Yeah.
So everything was monitored, make sure people were warming up correctly and stuff like that. We did like max deadlift, max push-ups in 1 minute, max this, all that sort of stuff, which was mad.
Yeah.
But the worry is like if you do like a max bench press or something and some kid goes for it and tears his pec, then he's out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And we're not as much about that because we're like a health-based, like that's all we want is people better and healthier. We don't want to try and push him into like, oh, you know, you get a prize if you do something crazy. Because if he tears his pec, then he's out for 6 months. And now he's going backwards for 6 months. And that can ruin, like as someone that's had a lot of injuries myself, it's not really worth doing. Like if they're going to hit something, we'll celebrate it. We'll go over and I'll film them. I'll get them like all G'd up for their set. But I don't want to entice them into doing it because then that's when you get them just jumping in when they're not warmed up or they're not ready.
What I thought would be a good idea back in the day is if you got a bunch of like anyone in the gym and they came and you set a PB day on like a random Saturday in a month's time and you go, right, this day we're going for PBs. You show me right now what you're at.
Yep.
We'll write it down and I'm going to give you a realistic goal.
That's cool. I like that.
But they have to show you their PB because you don't want them to go, oh, I'm doing 80 kilos and they're only at 70.
Yeah, 100%.
And then they write down 90.
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
but I thought it'd be cool if they showed you over the course of a week or 2.
And then the gym gets to track your progression.
Yeah, and then it builds into that day where it's like, even if you're hitting it that day, you still just got to go hit it that day.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's something I thought of when you open it. I was like, there's got to be a way to do that.
Well, we've got the same sort of idea, but in a less because tangibility is a really hard thing for like physical progression. Because obviously the goal for us is physical, like looking better.
Yeah.
And like obviously internal health comes along with that, but we want to eventually paste all over the walls and everything, everyone's transformations. Because like most gyms will put up your competition prep pics, which is cool, but at the same time, it's a big, like the majority of people do awesome transformations, lose 50 kilos, very proud of themselves, but they don't make it to stage because it's just not their prerogative. So we're thinking about getting before and afters, like everyone's best moment, their happiest shot, big after photo of them smiling, and then putting that all over the walls as well to celebrate them too.
Yeah.
And that's like a tangibility of like, we were with you at the start and we watched you progress all the way through, and now we're here with you at the finish as well. And we want you to see that every time you walk into the gym too. Like show your friends that you're up on the wall and show them what you did.
Yeah.
Which would be mad.
Now, I wanted to ask you a few questions, Jake. Yep. We've described the gym.
Yep.
It's been open for 4 or 5 months. We've gone over grand opening. How you kind of like out of the shitstorm? Because fuck man, there was a shitstorm for you, eh?
Oh yeah, it was bad. It's like you can see on my face I get the redness. It's stress-induced psoriasis. So when I get
look into the camera,
when I get really stressed, I got like a pituitary issue where I don't produce a lot of cortisol. So I stress really bad, but I don't quite feel it. And then it comes out in my skin. So if I have a really big moment of stress, it doesn't hit me too hard. And then 2 days later, I'm bloated. My skin gets very red, flaky. I get very run down and tired. And that's when the stress comes out. So like you could scare the shit out of me. I won't react. But tomorrow my skin will flare up. That's that sort of like issue that I have. And when I was doing the gym, my skin was bad. Like I couldn't fix it with all the moisturizer and everything in the world. It was flaking off, it was going red, it was scabbing up. Just I was so stressed. Happy as, but the stress was just killing me.
Yeah.
And then I kept telling myself it's going to get better, it's going to get better. But I'm just having to adjust to the busyness because the more members we get, the more I have to manage. The staff are getting better, which is really good. But the shop gets busier with more members. The gym runs through stock a lot quicker. I'm having to micromanage and change things a lot faster too. So it's like the stress isn't getting better, it's just getting different.
I would say managing growth is harder than the launch.
Yeah, very much so.
Managing growth is fucking hard.
Yeah, maintenance of like members, keeping everyone happy and keeping it growing at a steady rate is very, very hard.
Yeah.
Opening it for us was like, we just had to tick all the boxes. I had a massive, like it was hard because we were starting from scratch. We'd never done a gym before. So I remember I have like on my laptop, there's a order of operations list, about 194 things on that list. And there's things like get Wi-Fi set up in the gym.
Yeah, security tags.
Yeah, tags, this, that, blah, 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 machines ordered. And it's just a big list. I was trying to tick them all off as I go. Every 4 I'd tick off, I'd probably add 5. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And then once I sort of finished that list, that's when we're able to actually open. Because that was everything I had to get done before that. And then now every week I probably have a list of about 100 things that we got to do again. And it's just things that like, as the gym grows, it needs different ordering like schedules. Because now we have to order 3 times. Our bins need to get emptied more. We need to manage more, so like clients coming through, booking systems, things like that.
Yeah.
And then it's hard, but we're getting there.
Anyone running a business, I'd say building systems is the most critical part.
Very much so. Yeah, training manuals, systems of so you can quickly train staff. Because if we need like we've had to hire heaps new more staff because the busier we get, more people we need on. Every new person you hire, you have to train them. You have to show them all the systems. You have to hope that they're good for one, which all our staff have been great so far, and then like trying to teach them the culture as well is very hard, especially when you're so busy, we don't really get a chance to do it. Yeah. So the manuals and the training and the schematics and everything helps heaps with that.
Yeah. Dude, how do you feel like now, so to speak?
Yeah.
About it all. Like when you've come out of it and you're in this position where you co-own a gym of that size and stature. Have you like had time to sit down with your thoughts about it all and think about like, bro, 8 years ago, you and I were just fucking kicking ball at U7s. And now you're like full on a fucking dude. It's pretty cool, eh?
It's really cool. I haven't really had a thought about it because like Stan always says about working on the business versus working in the business. And we just work in the business. We don't get a chance to step out and look at it from the outside because we're always there. We're always making shakes or selling stuff. And the thing is like, generally when someone calls the phone to the gym, 1 in every 5 times, either me or Stan's going to answer, which a lot of gyms, the owner doesn't answer the phone ever.
Yeah.
But we're just always there doing it. And if the phone rings, I'm going to pick it up always. So I haven't had a chance to really think about it that much because I'm working like 6 days a week for the last, or 7 days a week, some weeks for the last like 3-4 months while it's been running. But eventually I'll step away, I'll look back at it and it'll be good. But I'm very happy with it. Like I'm stoked.
Yeah, it'd be cool for you seeing people get transformed as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, seeing people like walk in and it's like, it's the best part of their day, big smile on their face. They've been waiting all day to train and they choose your gym to do it is very good. It's a very heartwarming feeling.
Yeah, and people choose your advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
They choose
100%.
your supplements that you suggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. Very cool.
Have you had moments of stress where you're just like, fuck, like why did I choose?
Nah. It was a swim or sink sort of thing. So we never had really the option of like, oh, fuck, it's not working. It's just always going to work.
Yeah.
Always. So I've never had a thought of like, I shouldn't have done this or this is too much or anything like that. It's just got to get it done.
I've said the same about this.
Yep.
Right. So a lot of people, they go like family members. They're like,
yep.
you don't get the most views. Like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. But I always just say to them, like, it'll work. Like, are you stupid? Of course it's going to work. But that's just my own ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance is not a bad thing.
I've said to people before, if you're going to do something, whether it be, say you're a young 17-year-old right now and you think you can still make the rugby league, you still think you can make the NRL, you have to be like ignorant in a sense.
Yeah, I feel like not even ambitious.
Yeah, but that comes with like a level of an ignorance of common sense and common statistics to make it. And I always say the same about like the podcast. And then I'll kind of turn around and be like, look at the people I've met. Like, this is just after a year.
It's mad.
If you look at
the space you're in now, we were sitting on a lounge in like a dusty loft a year ago. Now you're in this like world class facility. It's mad.
Yeah, dude. That old one, that wasn't a podcast studio. They just, dude, I just went in there for a music session once and they were like, I was like, I want to start a podcast. And they're like, dude, we got this freaking road thing over here. You can come use it. I was like, oh, I'm going to bring my own camera. And they're like, yeah, dude, but you can use it. They were the best, man.
That's mad.
But yeah, and we just hang out there. But like this, like knowing Nick here and like the musicians and stuff, there's a certain level of ignorance, as to like, I'm going to make it.
Yep.
I may not be there now. I'm still a courier by trade, but you have to. I feel the same with you at the gyms. Like, it's always going to work.
Yeah.
It's always going to work, no matter what happens. It's just
100%. It's there's a hectic quote, and it's something like with the dedication to the craft and the passion to keep going, it's only ever a matter of time. So as long as you just keep at it, it's only ever going to take like a period of time, and you'll get there.
Yeah, Nipsey Hussle had a famous one where he's like, what did he say? He goes, I'll be real, I never had it all figured out, but I just didn't quit. That's what separates me from everyone else. He's like, I never had it fully figured out. It's a facade that anyone tells you that.
Yeah, 100%.
I just never quit. That's the difference.
I get told a lot. Everyone's like, wow, like you're so good at business. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Honestly, no idea. I'm doing it the best I can, but like I don't have a degree in business. I don't have anything that like, mine's in like exercise, sports management and exercise science. It's got nothing. I did accounting. That was the best I did. I don't know how to run shit. I don't know how to do, like I went to Till, my girlfriend was speaking at a psychological event as like a guest speaker, and it was like one of those events where you go and you mingle with people and you like talk and everyone's like, oh, you got a business card? I'm like, no, you got Instagram? I don't know what to do. And it's like, you're supposed to go and talk to people and present your business. I was like, I don't know how to do this at all. I was like, I got a gym, you can come train if you want. And everyone's like, oh, cool, like I do this and we're at this level and this is our standard marketing procedure. I was like, just post on Instagram. Harrison does some shoots for us sometimes and people just come.
When people try and, people come up to me and they try and like network, I'm horrible.
Yeah.
But when I'm in like a music setting, this is why I thrive in like making connections in hip hop because it's no networking.
Yeah.
It's just talking music.
Yeah, 100%.
Same with sport. That's why I connect with people with sport and like people within the sports. There's no like, this is our metrics and like, hey, how are you? I'm from Suncorp Bank. No, none of that bullshit. My name's Falcon. I'm from Helos. Why you call me Falcon? I don't know. Sam Vanderwall, he said it in year 7 on his first day. Couldn't pronounce my last name, so he just ended up on Falcon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that works the best in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over any networking is just like authenticity.
Yeah, 100%.
In any setting for anyone listening, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I feel like your best connections as well, the people I've met through you.
Yep.
To Tendar.
Yeah.
Yanni, Rico, who have their own life going on, but they contribute so much to the gym at the same time.
Exactly. It's tangible. Like they're people I've met just through being mates, training, good guys through the shop.
Yeah.
If I need a house built, I can get it built in 6 weeks from now with those 2 guys alone.
Yeah.
Whereas like I can market with all the Suncorp banks I want. They're not going to give me a loan for a house or something like that just because I know them.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to do that. Whereas they will stick their neck out and like do something, which is very important. And that's like real connections, which you don't really make real connections through forced mingling. You make it by like becoming friends and forming a proper relationship.
You don't make loyal connections,
Nah.
I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
That's how I see it. And that's how I see like how you and Stan built your gym. It's just like a combined strength of loyalty between yourselves and this group of people.
Yeah.
And then you see it with people like, bro, there was people from your gym that were buying my latest tees. These ones, Helos and Crow. 2 new colors coming out, hopefully a day after this drops.
Ooh.
Yeah, I probably should have done it at the start. See, I'm not good with business, man. I don't give a fuck about all that shit. I probably should. I'm 23, man. I got to get it together. But
don't worry about
don't worry about it, mate. You get it. But yeah, like people buying, and you could tell like there's a tangible connection.
Yep.
They're like buying it because they see you in it, and you wearing it, and then they go, "Oh, yeah, I trust Jake."
Yep.
And what he's built and what he's about. I'm going to trust his mate's business to purchase off, you know?
Yeah, that was a very real realization I had at the start when we started doing pre-sign-ups. So we didn't release any information on where the gym was because we're under NDA. We couldn't say anything, what it looked like, how big it was, the area, the space, anything like that. And we did pre-sign-ups. We had 100 members before we even announced where it was. So for all those people know, we're in a shitty little studio in the back of Penrith somewhere, and it was 20 square meters. But they just trusted that we're going to do it like pretty cracker. And then when it released and it like we showed like what it was, those first 100 people got like cheap as memberships because like we wanted to reward the ones that trusted us. Everyone else it like went up $1 every month after that. So rewarding the people that got in at the start. And we got heaps of people just trusted we're going to do a good job, which is mad.
Bro, the amount of members you got was pretty crazy.
Yeah, very quick. Very quick.
When you first got into the gym, did you ever imagine you'd garner such a...
Nah, because I had mates that were talking about their gyms and stuff, saying like you average 5 to 10 people a week sign-ups, and like they'd have 800 members after a year or two, and we were like averaging 165 people a week some days or some weeks for like the first couple, and then we're sitting close to like 700, 720 at the moment after about 4 months.
I think I signed up someone.
Yeah, probably.
I think I was standing at the counter one night before I was like officially open. Some guy came over, he was like, "Dude, I'm here to sign up." I was like,
Let's
sure.
do it.
Yeah. Dude, here's this form Jake told me about. Fill that out. I'll just give it to Stan.
I love it. That's like to Tender because he's like our sales manager now. So he calls and he signs people up. But he'll just be in the sub shop. He's like, yeah, what pre do you want? And he'll be selling people subs and just like walking around. He just does stuff. And I love it. He's got like next to none work ethic. Like next level. It's incredible.
Yeah.
He'll be in the shop walking through because his office is down the back. And someone will be like, hey man, like what's your advice? And he'll stop and he'll talk to him. He's like, oh, this protein's really good for your guts. And he's just relaying information that he remembers. And he'll make like a sale. Like he'll sell a $300 stack. It's not his job. Doesn't get paid to. He doesn't need to. He'll just do it just because he can.
It's crazy.
He's a good guy.
Do you ever look back on... Do you ever, when you walk in the doors, do you ever be like, fuck, like this is something I'm a part owner in?
Yeah. Sometimes. Usually I'm like running because I'm late to like a PT session or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like carrying all my bags in and stuff. But it does, every time I walk in and like opens up and I see lots of people in there, it hits me different. Because I'm like, everyone's here, like it's a busy gym. As opposed to like if I walked in, there was like 3 people, I'm like, yeah, it's cool. But when I walk in, it's like packed house. Like I walked out to get us food tonight and walked back in. And as I walked in, there's like probably 55 people in there. Like every machine, or not every machine, but most machines have someone on there. There's groups of people laughing, talking. There's people just sitting down at the tables having a chat. And that makes it feel like it's a big hub that people are like attracted to now. Yeah. As opposed to just like any other gym.
What do you think has been the hardest part about opening a gym?
I myself am not very good at like assertiveness. Like I'm a very easygoing person. I don't ever get angry. I find it hard to make like big calls and like have big conversations. So becoming more of like a leader has been the hardest. But Stan's very good at that. He's mentoring me and like I'm having harder conversations with people when I need to. I'm progressing and like putting it on people when I need to as well. And like being able to manage and delegate employees better. Yeah. That's the hardest part because I'm just not good at it. I'm a bit of a pushover where it's like I'll just let things go and let it go easy. But it's not conducive to good business. So I'm like trying to teach myself to be better. But it helps because I got good teachers around me as well.
Yeah, for those listening, Jake is a leader, but not in the sense of a stern.
Yeah.
Jake won't tell around turn around and ever tell anyone they're a fucking idiot.
Nah,
but if you watch Jake operate for a day, that's what you're watching a leader, like the way he operates. That's a good way to describe it.
I appreciate that.
That's how you operate, man. Look at you. You fucking. But because I remember in high school, the way you ate was just like abnormal at that age.
Yeah.
And I was pounding roll-ups into the core of the earth. Bear in mind, I'm always an adult at this point. I think I was 17. But like...
Pounding roll-ups, we go to the pub that night.
Yeah. What was I trading with Matt Field? Jumpies.
Oh,
yeah, dude, I'd trade fucking sandwiches for jumpies.
Yeah.
Because Coles Wimbley didn't have them. And so they were...
That's what like else? You have to be in Penrith or Blackstone to get that snack.
Yeah, the Asian convenience store.
Yeah.
What were the other ones? Oh. There was one of Tiny Teddy's, but I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't called Tiny Teddy's, it was something else. I used to trade for that. And then if I didn't have it, I'd always trade for the biscuits and cheese thing.
Oh, the snack.
Yeah. That was good. Or a Yogo. If someone brought a Yogo. I
wasn't always big on yogurt.
I was huge. No, but the
the
M&M's, another thing, and then you have like the yogurt.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Nutella.
Yeah.
Yeah, chocolate. Yeah. I remember that one.
I don't know how we got. Oh yeah, hardest part about opening a gym. Yeah, but I reckon that would have been hard for you, eh?
Yeah,
well, it must be hard.
I stress hard still. Like if someone, very rarely does it happen. Say someone messes up, or like a member's like doing
acting up.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, not even acting up, but just things like they might have done something against guidelines or something. I have to go up and like speak to them in the middle of the weights floor. I stress about that hard. I know it has to get done, so it's like a count to 3, 1, 2, 3, just go and do it. Yeah. But in saying that, like that sits on my conscience, and I'm sitting there like, fuck, it's a hard conversation. I don't want to do this. But then at the same time, like if I don't do it, the gym's starting to fail, and like someone has to have that conversation. Now that I'm like the boss, I have to have those. I can't expect my employees to have those conversations with people, because if I don't do it myself, how can I ask them to do it?
Being 24,
yeah.
How are you finding being an owner of a business and having employees that are not too far off your own age and having to manage them?
Yeah, it's good. Stan's very good with like their staff in hours, mates after hours.
Yeah,
I'm like always mates with everyone during, but if something like needs to be said, I'll say it for the most part. But they're all really good people. And I find it very easy to like gel with them because we're similar ages.
Yeah.
So I can like chat to them and find their perspective on things, get on their level as well. And then we like share jokes, like watch the same like memes and shit on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it is good. It's a lot easier to connect with them. But at the same time, it is harder to not be friends when I have to not be friends. But it doesn't happen very often because they're all great. They're all really, really good.
Dude, at Coles, I was close with like the manager and the store manager that fired me.
Yeah.
So that kind of like, shout out to him, man. Hope you're doing well, huh? Anyway, and for those listening, I got 5 feet in Frankfurt at Coles. We've been over this multiple times. It never fails to make people laugh. But dude, that kind of like fucked me up, right? Because I was like friends with them.
Yeah.
I'd talk to them about like multiple different things. So I had my guard up, went to LaBello. Michael, he didn't give a fuck. Shout out Michael, Mika, and Chef. Yeah. But when I went to JB Hi-Fi, I personally made it like a conscious effort to just have friends that were in the workforce with me, but the managers and stuff I just kept my distance from.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to...
You don't want to, like you said, let your guard down and then all of a sudden they have to have that conversation and it goes personal.
Yeah.
The worst thing is you take it personally and it ruins you. Like you don't want to go to work anymore.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But I found with like male employees especially, there's two types. Some take it as a very like personal attack whenever you tell them off for something, and some use it as like an opportunity to build. So far the two boys we have there, like unreal. Like you tell them to your face, hey, like I need you to step your game up, they'll do it straight up. Yeah. Whereas we've had a couple in the past where it's like you tell them they need to step the game and they're like, I'm trying my best. Like, why are you attacking me? Like and they start getting like really flustered and stuff. Like, just chill the fuck out. Like we're not having a go at you. We want this business to succeed and we want you to stay employed with us, so we need you to be better.
Yeah, dude, I feel like football is perfect for it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, dude, I'll like... Ollie's in the other room. He'll know this is true. I'll be telling Turbo, like, what are you doing? And he'll turn around and be like, what the fuck do you think you're fucking doing? You're fucking useless, man. You done nothing. I'm like, oh, true. Yeah. I actually have done nothing, eh? Yeah. And then, like, Tow's a good one. Tow's turned around before. Oh, dude, I'll be like telling Tao, like, you got to run. And he'll turn around. Like one time he slapped me He's like, I ain't fucking running. Shut up. It's like, fair enough. Feedback received. I'm getting you now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like, yeah, I feel like I've taken that into work in other places in a sense of like, you can have constructive conversations.
Yeah.
And you can kind of be a bit not hard. People from the outside may think it's harsh, but
Yeah.
in
That's
reality,
assertive.
yeah. And it's good, and it's good as well that you can have a conversation between two people where you both have, you can both understand each other, but you also have your own positions.
Yeah.
And that's how you enter. And then whatever you leave
Yeah.
with, maybe it's an ultimatum, maybe it's not, maybe you both just have different opinions.
Yep.
But I feel like that would be really hard in business when there's money involved. It's not like football where it's just Sunday league.
Well, yeah, that's the hard. Like business is business at the end of the day, and if something's holding the business back from making money, you can't persist with.
And customer experience.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a big thing, right?
Yeah,
Like-
100%. The brightest part of someone's day is walking in, and that's the first person they see is the person on the front desk.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that their session is good, the gym that they're going to is clean and nice and respectful, and that you like, hey, how's your day been? Like, have a chat to them, which is like we got that on lock, which is mad. Our employees are cracker. They're very, very good at that. Big bright smiles when you walk in. Very like interested. Like you'll walk in, they're like, how's your podcast going? They probably met you once, but they just know. They'll follow you on Instagram. They'll talk to you, and they're actually invested in your life, which is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I have had that a few times.
Yeah.
Remember those guys that came up on grand opening day?
Yeah.
I remember you're like trying to move around. They're like, "Oi, dude, is he the Sunday league guy?" Oh, maybe.
And they were like, yeah, we run fucking Blacks.
The Blue Mountains one.
Blue
Yeah.
Mountains page. I was like, shit, we're going to have a punch on. Just get in the jiu-jitsu room.
Oh, dude, it actually sucks they cut up that octagon.
Yeah, bro.
Not that like you would have used it, but for those listening, the previous tenants, you can probably guess by the use of the word octagon. But yeah, they took away the octagon.
Yeah.
And cut it up. And that would have been cool to just like...
It was like a $40,000. It was the only life-size octagon in Australia. So I was talking to the guy that was liaising the transference of UFC to our gym.
Yeah.
And he was saying like they want to get a good amount of money for it or they're not going to sell. I was like, why don't you keep it in Australia for when they do UFC events? He's like, no, they bring their own octagon over. They keep it all standardized and all that sort of stuff. And he's like putting it on marketplace and stuff, trying to sell it for ridiculous amounts. And I had like 3 or 4 people message me that wanted to buy it, sent through the contacts. He just ignored them all, didn't care. And then all of a sudden they decided, no, we're just going to get rid of it. So they left it there for like a week, which sucked because we were trying to move equipment in. And then I was like, you've got to get it out because we need equipment to come in. And we're keeping everything like really regimented with like theirs goes out, ours comes in, theirs goes out, ours come in. And this octagon was taken up like 15 by 15 meter square space, which is like the majority of the gym floor. And then they sent some guy in the middle of the night with a grinder, cut it into absolute pieces. And there was like 4 pieces of octagon everywhere. And he just carried it all out by hand, threw it in his truck and took it to the tip and threw it away. It was a big waste. I was like, find somewhere to store it, like rent somewhere for a week. It'll cost you $200 and I promise you'll sell it for good money and someone will make good use of it in Australia.
Yeah.
But they just didn't care. They couldn't give a shit.
Dude, just give it to some bogan.
Yeah, they wouldn't. The whole business was going under like a month later. So
yeah,
like all of Australian UFC is shut down now. So they would have had some inkling that was going to happen and just wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I can't fathom it, man. I don't know why I'd do that. Now some other questions I got for you.
Yep.
What has been some of the biggest challenges in opening the health club?
Managing the stress is probably the hardest part. Like taking time away because I train there too. So on my two designated days off of the week, I'm in there training, which generally means I'm also in there fixing machines and like walking around and chatting to people. I end up in there for the most of the day. And then the other thing was like just realizing that I have a lot of really good people that have helped us, but there's the odd person in there as well. It's like a puppy always thinks like everyone's great, like until someone kicks it. And then like we realized this.
Dude, I never heard that one.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're right. It's like there's some actual word for it, but it's like everything's sunshine and rainbows. And then you start to grow up and you see a dog that's been treated bag over its life, it'll attack everyone. And we started to like have a few people here and there that like just didn't care, really dogged us or did us dirty with machines or things like that. And that was like what I was talking about with that big rig system I had out the back. We had a guy we ordered machines off. He was the first invoice we put through for machines. So we ordered, I think, 5 machines off him. It was like a $28,000 invoice or something. We paid the deposit, which was like $14,000, and then we paid for 2 of the machines. And the agreement was with the deposit we'd get 2 machines, and then every machine after that we could pay off and get them sent to us. So we paid the deposit, paid 2 machines. I think the amount we'd paid was like 16,800 or something. And we're supposed to have received 3 machines for that. Didn't get anything at all. And then we messaged him. It was like 13 weeks progressed, like ages. It was pretty much about a month ago. We finally got our first machine, and that was after like really pushing, like hard. And then the machine came covered in rust, broken, missing pieces. Like it was supposed to be a brand new, like off the like built machine, everything.
Just fucked you over.
Came dirty as, and then so we started getting into like a progress things. Like I was like, hey man, like I want to get quality control for our next machine. I want you to send it right now. I want to see the shipping. I want to see everything. And he, like, after heaps of back and forth, him trying to get us to pay more and more and more, finally sent that machine if we paid for the shipping, which the agreed upon shipping amount was something like, I think it was included in the invoice at the start. We had to pay $650 to get that machine shipped. So we paid it, got that machine down. Same thing. It was like parts were missing. I had to get bolts for it. Had a little bit of rust on it, which we cleaned all the rust and stuff off, but you could tell it was just been stored outside. And then so I messaged him. I was like, hey man, there's 2 machines that we're paying like thousands and thousands of dollars each for each machine have come terrible. And they're supposed to be brand new upholstery, like all done and that sort of stuff. Anyway, I didn't get a response really. I took it to Fair Work Trading, and then I got a response like with the screenshot of Fair Work. He's like, what's this? Like, we need to sort this out right now. I was like, yeah, send me some good quality machines and I'll get rid of it. And then I said, I want a refund for the excess that we've paid taking those 2 machines off. So I was like, I'll pay for those 2. I just want a full refund for the rest. Didn't get a refund, just pushed it out. He's like, no, we'll send you the machines, just send us the rest of the money. And I was like, nah, because it's going to be shit. And then there was a period of back and forth, and then we made the decision, we're like, we'll just book our own courier. We'll get a truck, we'll go up there, we'll give him the cash, load the machines, just bring them straight down by ourselves. So me, Stan, looked into booking the trip. It came to that Thursday, and we like had a truck lined up. We had everything sorted. And then I called him up, and I was like, hey, like, we're going to come up on Thursday. And the answer I got was speak to the liquidator. We're going into bankruptcy. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we're shutting everything down. And then he just hung up. And then so I called the liquidator. The liquidator's like, yeah, so the business has gone under, which means your machines, like whatever machines are here, are going to get sold at auction. Out of all the money, you might get a little bit back. And then I was looking at the liquidator's invoice was $53,000. The machines they sold at the machines and assets he had total was probably about 50 grand, and then he owed heaps of people money. So we're never going to get any money back. So he owed us 10 grand, 3 machines, and we got absolute zero. And we were like real dirty, like bad, because like, we'd had such a really nice streak of people being beautiful and helping us out. And like we had our other machine guy who's like, we're sticking by him like to the end of time, Jesse and Mario from VersaFit. They dropped off like 40 machines in 2 weeks' notice, everything clean. They refurbished them. They service them. They keep them like top nick for us. They were cracker, like really nice guys too, like really easy to talk to. This guy just didn't want a bar of it. And then as he's like claiming bankruptcy, he's touring the world, going on these beautiful holidays everywhere, putting up photos all the time. All the comments on all the photos are other gyms saying, you owe us machines, you've dogged us, I'm taking you down, all that sort of stuff. So he did it to pretty much everyone. And then we were in a really bad spot. We're going to whatever, and then just decided we're gonna like we'll leave it in God's hands. We'll chill out. We'll just let it all pass. Like it is what it is. Stuff happens. Stan is like because I don't ever get like upset or anything. I was getting really upset, and Stan calmed me down. He's like, we'll just leave it. It is what it is. Like he always has this analogy of like business is like putting sand in your hands. Some of it slips through, but you still hold the majority as much as you can. Some's always going to slip through. So like, all right, whatever. Anyway, I pestered the bankruptcy guy. I was like, give me the auction. Like, tell me where it is. Like, when it's happening, everything. Took like 6 or 7 emails back and forth, but he finally told me where it was because it's conflict of interest. We're not supposed to be able to bid on the machines or anything. We found the auction. We ended up buying 7 machines for $4 grand. So we got more than we were supposed to and better machines for half the price remaining on the invoice. So in the end, we ended up winning, which was mad. And one of the machines was that big rig system, which like set up and all done is about 40 grand. And I got it for $840.
Nice.
So that's a big fuck you to that guy. Because I sent through a bid, it was like $841, and the response was, unfortunately, your bid didn't meet the reserve price of whatever, because it has to meet a reserve. And I replied back in the email saying, give him $850 or fuck off. And then I got an email back saying, congratulations on your successful bid. And then they shipped it down.
Nice.
Which is mad. So we came out on top eventually, just by like trusting the process. But yeah, that was like a big realization. Like people don't care. some people just out for themselves and like they'll dog you, they'll go bankrupt, reopen under another business name, and just like take your money, which sucks. Because there's other people out there that are really nice, but it's hard to like figure out who to trust now.
Oh yeah,
which sucks.
Landmines everywhere.
Oh, man. Bro, I just want to trust everyone. I want to do business with everyone, but you have to like be so much more like skeptical now. Stan's very good at seeing it. I'm not that good. So whenever like someone new enters our life or a new like person comes into it that could offer us something, I always look at him. I'm like, what do you reckon? And like sometimes he's like, I love him, and turns out really good. Sometimes he's like, get a really weird vibe, man, and like. More often than not, 9 out of 10 times, like 2 months pass and that comes out and you're like, yeah, they're not in it for us at all. They don't care. And that's something that I'm like struggling with too. Like trying to pick people is very hard because everyone like at face value, they crack up really good. And then like a month goes on and they get everything they can out of you and just disappear, which sucks.
Business, man.
Yeah, it's business.
That's at that level, eh? Like he's dealing with
100%.
Shit, man. It's crazy world, eh?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Just watching how people operate. It's just like, I'm not religious by any means, but like more like morality, so to speak. Like just
100%.
the lack thereof sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like what money does to people.
Well, that's the thing is that
just highlights.
We definitely weren't the only ones that guy dogged. Yeah. But what he'll do is he'll declare bankruptcy, shut his business down, and then he'll reopen it under another name in 2 months and just keep operating.
Yeah.
He'll pay off all his debts, declare bankruptcy. The banks don't get any money. The people he screwed don't get any money. They don't get machines. He keeps making money. Keeps his house, keeps all his cars and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, shit's me, eh?
Yeah, shit go.
What do you do?
Nothing.
Is there any other challenges it's been in opening the health club?
Nothing we haven't been able to jump over. Like creating like a break even. We never wanted to lose money, which is something I know. Everyone's like, you don't make money in the first 2 years of business. Like fuck that. We were looking at break even straight away.
Yeah.
And like so far we've been doing pretty good. Like we haven't lost money yet, which is good. And it's one of those things where like obviously the more members, the more you order. Like it's a linear progression of
managing growth, like I said earlier.
Expenditures. So it's like an uphill battle, but as long as you're keeping that quality high, you will make money eventually. And our challenge has been like budgeting because we just love buying equipment and making the gym better. We always want to do this, add this, do that. So like trying to hold back is very hard. We'll go and like look at a machine and buy 4. That's something we got to like chill out a little bit.
Retail therapy, huh?
Yeah. It's like going to Toys R Us.
Dude, I miss it.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned Toys R Us.
It just gives you that same feeling. You walk in, there's a big factory full of machines. Like, I want that one, that one. And then it's good as well because it's like you find little gems. Because like I'm getting like, it's like trading cards or like classic cars. You get really into like certain machine brands that you just don't see. Again, like Cybex makes some crazy stuff. And they're like non-existent because the gyms that have them hold on to them, or they just wear them out till they're non-usable anymore. No one's really selling them these days. It's like when you see one, like you just lock onto it straight away. And it's like auction hunters and stuff like that. You go to the factory and you find a little gem, you just got to buy it.
It's like footballs.
Yeah.
There's different footballs use different material, like premium footballs.
Yep.
They have a different material every year.
Yeah.
And so some years you get these beautiful things, man. And then all of a sudden it's been 15 years and you're like, like the Jabulani, they use it at the South Africa World Cup.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Is that the one that has like the infinity?
Yeah, it has like braille almost on it, right?
Oh,
it's like,
I know,
and it's made. There's an animal skin on it, and bro, like the way the ball floats, no other ball's ever floated like it. Like it's like a knuckleball.
Yeah.
It's like one of the hardest techniques in the world. You can do that like without.
Wow.
Like Riley Kennedy could probably do a knuckleball. Jabulani. Peter Kladnikov would give it a crack.
Current form.
Not Aiden Kennedy, Riley Kennedy. Yeah. But yeah, those balls, man, they were like, if you find them. But yeah, I know what you're talking about when you you find a gem.
Yeah. And like half our business plan is to have all this like rare exclusive equipment no other gyms have. So like for us, like that's a big selling ticket. If we can find like say a techno gym tilt press, very hard to find. We got one of those. The inverted leg presses, inverse leg curls, like gluteator machines, things like that. No other gyms have them. So we want to have them to make sure that maybe it's just your leg day once a week. You still come to our gym to do it because it's the best gym you can do leg day in.
Yeah, because there's just so much different shit going on.
Yeah.
It's not repetitive.
Nah. And like all the chains, like we mentioned before, they sign deals. So they can only have, say, Anytime Fitness will only ever have Hammer Strength and Life Fitness. Plus Fitnesses have like Force USA, Life Fitness, and that's generally about it. Club Limes have Matrix and Hammer Strength. We got like probably 20 different brands of gym stuff. We got Techno Gym, we got Rogue, we got Life Fitness, we got Hammer Strength. We have like the one-off custom machines, like handmade for us. We have Nautilus. We have what else? Heaps.
Dude, that's nuts. Yeah, I didn't even know that many existed.
Yeah, Aussie Strength stuff, Hammer Strength. Just, heaps of different stuff. Just crazy. Like certain brands have the best of this. Like Nautilus has the best hip thrust. So we have a Nautilus hip thrust. And we have, I think, 3 hack squats. We got a Hammer Strength one. We have a Force USA one. And we have just another one. And the Force USA one's the best out of the 3. But they work for different, like you're a tall guy, so you'd use one, you wouldn't like the other 2. Or a short guy will go and use one, he won't like the other 2. And then there's the one right in the middle for the medium people as well. Yeah. But each one of those is like the best of what it is.
Dude, I'm real, huh?
Yeah.
It's nuts watching you as your mate, like, exert knowledge on something in such depth that I have no fucking clue what's going on, you know? It's something you're so passionate about.
Like, come a year ago, I had no idea. Like, I'd go and use equipment. I've been training for ages. I go to the gym, this one just feels better than the other one. I wouldn't look at brands. I wouldn't know that. I would just know which machine at which gym I liked the feel of. Now I'm looking into it. Different machines use different angles, different systems for pulling the weight, different upholstery on the cushions. And that stuff makes a big difference.
Dude, you know what I think the future of gym machinery is?
Yeah.
Now, I think the future is like a little screen attached to it.
Yeah.
And it shows the exercise. So say you got a leg press.
Yep.
And then on like in infrared almost, or say the figure is it's a human figure in this video in a white silhouette.
Yep.
And then it has red showing the muscles that are being used for each exercise.
That's good. You know what would be?
That's what I think the future of machinery is, where you go on a screen and you're like, all right, normal leg press, whatever that's called.
Yep.
Maybe it's got a complicated name, but like just an average leg press, and you watch the video and it shows you the form, and then it shows you as well like what muscles are being used.
That's good.
I think that's the future.
To extend on that, it'd be awesome to develop a machine where maybe you put an electrode on, because one of the things is like, you can sit on a leg press and not actually use your legs to press it. You might use glutes, hamstrings, quads, that sort of stuff. It's a big thing being able to connect to that muscle and utilize the right muscle. So it'd be cool to get a machine that you attach an electrode to your body and it can show you which muscle you're using at which time. So you can sit there and say you're doing a bicep curl, you can see that your bicep's actually activating. And then if it's not, then you figure out where it's going to activate, and then you can make sure that you're hitting that exercise perfect every time.
Yeah. I just think, dude, like when you think about like sports clubs now, you give that, because technology just rapidly advances this day. You give it like 2 decades, and that's what will be. What they deal with now, it will be like just public standard in due time.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of progression.
Well, we have 2 big rows of equipment in the gym. One side's Matrix, which is like real easy to use stuff. It counts your reps, it counts the time, it shows you the exercise on the machine. Not like on a screen, but it has pictures for it. On the opposite is the hoist stuff, which is like real technology. The whole machine moves as you use it. So it'll give you like another 20% range of motion on each side of the aspect of the movement. So for a normal leg extension, your leg stops at about straight. This one will allow it to come up another 15% rotation, which means you're hitting a lot deeper muscle that you don't normally hit. And they're like the opposite of user-friendly. People sit on them like, oh, what the fuck? But it hits your muscle much, much better if you know how to use it properly.
Yeah.
So there's like the 2 sides of the technology, where one side is high, slightly like it appears higher in technology. It shows you how to use the machine. It's very user-friendly. The other side's actually thought into the exercise a lot more and is higher technology, but it's a little bit less, I guess, on the surface. It's like a Land Cruiser. Probably best ute you can ever buy. It's still got roll-up windows, but it'll last you forever. And it actually gets you where you need to go.
That's mad.
That's like a Tesla. Fucking blow
up. What is... dude, I had another question here for you, and I can't remember what it was. It's in my notes. Dude, sorry everyone that's watching.
Was that in your pocket or in your shorts?
It was in my shorts. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Notes. Questions, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's kind of already in here. In terms of the range of rewarding experiences that come from building a business, but let's focus purely on the gym.
Yep.
What's been some of the most rewarding experiences, like some of the most rewarding clients? Like, what are some of the craziest things you've seen happen in BodyBuilder Health Club since you've opened?
The best, like seeing all my mates come and train's awesome, because it's rewarding to me to see my friends in it. Like, I see a lot of faces that I don't know every day. I'm getting to know them, obviously, because now they're members. But seeing faces that I do know come in consistently, and not just like, oh, we'll just go and support, like actually coming to use the gym and stuff like that, that's really rewarding for me. And then seeing, like, we got a little like trophy cabinets, mostly mine and Stan's trophies, but seeing people add their trophies, add their pro cards. We've seen like 2 or 3 athletes turn pro now. We've only been open for 4 months through our gym and like prepping with us. We've had, I think our last season we collected like 13, 14 gold medals at competitions, things like that. Seeing those in that small period we've been open, how many athletes are coming through and actually progressing really quickly, that's very rewarding. That and like seeing the friendships be made. Like I'm seeing 2 members get together, now they're dating and they're like going out together. I'm seeing people that have never met before, now they're best friends, they're training together. I'm seeing guys that are like 146 kilos teaching a 55 kilo kid how to bench press and shoulder press, and like taking the time out of their day. It's really rewarding that that's the space where they can do that, and that we've created that for them. And it's not like it's a functioning thing by itself. It doesn't need like any of our interaction. It's just we've built it into a place where people can do that comfortably, which is really rewarding.
Yeah. Have you got any gym? You don't have to say their name unless like you want to. But have you got any people that have started coming to the gym where you're like, holy fuck, they've become like for us, Chief.
Yeah, he's unreal.
For those listening, if you see me hanging out with a tall ranger who is yelling, but in reality he's just talking, he was Chief would love being a shout out on here. How heavy do you reckon he was when he started?
He was exactly 75 kilos.
75 kilos, at least 6'2", 6'3".
That was our first check-in ever as well. So like when I started coaching, so that was his first time I weighed him. So he was probably lighter before that as well. Yeah. That was after he'd been eating, like not too bad.
And yeah, before that, like Chief lived his life, put it that way. And then he got into the gym with Jake, took up like bodybuilding, eating to the extreme. And then he saw, I wish I could show the photo on the thing. Like where he's at now to where he was is just crazy. I'll see if, I'll see. So that's that photo of Chief. If you're watching, sorry. And then
go to the next one. Go to the other one. Yeah, that one.
I don't know if it's focusing. I'm sorry if it's not focusing. And I'm sorry if you're on audio. But that's the next one of him. If you have a timestamp right now on audio, that's the exact same timestamp for YouTube. We use the same audio across the board.
He started at 75, and I think he finished at like 93 kilos or 94 kilos. And that was in the space of 6 weeks.
Yeah. And watching him, and then he saw Tom and I running.
Yep.
And he had other mates running, and then he started running, and he's also done a marathon and like 2 half marathons in between, while still maintaining. I think he's in between.
He's about 84, 85 kilos.
So for you, that would be nuts to watch. Like,
it's incredible.
And he's still at the gym every day.
Yes.
So it'd just be crazy for you to watch. Like,
as I was walking to my car today, there's this maniac ripping down the road, beeping the horn. It's him on his way to the gym. Every day.
So I had to explain to people like, there's nothing wrong with him.
The other day, I was doing a PT session. I was like focused. I was talking to the client, and I look over, and there's Chief balancing on like so the barbell's like obviously the long handle with 2 weights that are about that thick, and he's got one leg on it, like rolling back and forth, like balancing, just looking dead eyes straight forward, and you're kind of like, what the fuck is he doing? And then he's like, what are you looking at? He's like mid balancing, about to fall off.
Oh, he's so fascinating.
Yeah, he's ADHD persona.
Yeah. And like, so you'd have like people like Chief, but is there any other people that have come in and you're like, wow, like it's crazy to give you a space to do that stuff?
Bianca has been incredible watching her transformation. Izzy Hader, who's like prepped for 20 years, and then he's just won his pro card.
In his 40s?
Yeah, he's like 49, so almost in his 50s. And he's won 2 pro cards this year, and like just
nuts.
5 or 6 overall shows, which is like where you win the whole show. Yeah. Watching Stan level up through the gym, watching like young Tom Manzi grow and just like get smarter and smarter and better, and like getting like a real mind for business as well, which is really good.
For those listening, Tom Manzi was probably when Tom was what, 14?
Yeah, 14.
No, maybe, yeah.
I think 14.
14. Tom would have been what?
120 something kilos.
But 5 foot.
Quite short, yeah.
Oh shit! I don't want to get it wrong. Well, Tom now's only like 5'9".
About 5'10", I reckon, at the moment.
But back then he was tiny. I remember.
Yeah. But he
and so for the now listening, he's lean. He's got good muscle.
He's competition ready. Every time I've done his folds, they're all sub 5, which is like you don't get that unless you're like 2 weeks out from a show.
Bro, I lived with him for 2 weeks during COVID. So in 2021, where it was like real strict rules.
Yeah.
My sister had to come live up with us, and then it was like I can either stay home for 2 weeks or if I want to continue to go to work. And then I called John that day. John goes, "Yeah, this is Tom's older brother, one of my best mates, John." And I go, "John, like ask Andrew and Emma.
Yep,
this place to stay, whatever." Bro, I'm getting up at 6 a.m. every morning. At that time, 5:36 for work. Andy, the dad. Anyone that knows Andy, it's the craziest genetics I've ever seen on like a guy's age. It's stupid, eh? Like, I say genetics. The guy's an animal. Bro, I'm getting up and Tom's had a shower, cooked his meals, and gone to the gym.
Yeah.
And it's 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, he's probably gone for a walk as well.
Yeah, he does those morning walks. And then you're like watching him eat. So like John and I, we'd have a beer every afternoon or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just having a yarn out the back and doing uni work and all that. And we'd have like a packet of chips or whatever. He could not fathom. No. Like at that point in time, he goes, "I have to stick to my diet. Like I can't cheat."
He's the only client I've ever had where I had to tell him to go get shit food. I was like, "You are too good."
Yeah, I remember it was a big deal, eh?
Yeah, first time he ever came in, he showed me in his notes, he tracked like 1,300 days straight, 0 cheat meals, like everything perfectly measured, first meal to last meal of the day, everything like tip top.
Yeah.
Did not stray once, not Christmas, birthdays, New Year's, nothing. Hadn't had a drink, hadn't done anything. And it was to the point where it was like slightly impacting his gut health and stuff like that. So I was like, "You got to go get some bad food." And he's like, "No." And then we're like progressively speaking about it. And we found, like, I was like, "Go get some really bad food." He went and got a steak sandwich or something, chips, fixed all his problems like straight away. He's so regimented and so
What's the science behind that?
So you need certain fats in your diet. If you cut out everything, eventually your guts will start missing things that they need. And eventually you need a bit of drain cleaner. Like if you just only ever eat dead clean food, you lose dopamine response from food. So all of a sudden you don't feel good when you eat anymore, which also stops you from digesting properly. Your stomach acid and your liver gets very good at digesting that certain food. So if you do like change foods into a different protein or something like that, you're going to struggle for a few days. Eventually your guts can shut down slightly. So if you only ever eat very clean food with low fats, your body will get so rough with digestion. There's not enough waste coming out of your body. So you end up not even like shitting. Like your body will shut down and you just become very, very constipated. So you need someone to get in there and just flush everything out.
So for someone who's fixated on eating completely healthy food, what would you say is like a cheat meal that doesn't compromise their values on food?
Go get the biggest steak you can
just
buy.
with heaps of fat on it.
Yeah, the fat on steak is good. So like that sort of fat doesn't convert to body fat. Like proper medium chain triglycerides. Like they will not turn to fat in the body. Say? Medium chain triglycerides. So it's a type of fat. So you got the like certain fats are not good for you, like canola oils, inflammatory fats, seed oils, stuff like that. That will turn to fat and that'll make you like look like shit. But you can eat almost like I add a tablespoon of ghee, which is like pure fat, to every single one of my meals every single day. I eat not the leanest beef mince. I eat like 80% if I'm going to eat it.
The 4-star?
Yeah. I leave fat on every single steak that I eat because that fat is good for you. It converts that cholesterol is derivative of all steroids in the body. So testosterone, norepinephrine, like all the DHTs, everything you need in your body to convert and create muscle growth comes from cholesterol. So if you don't have that initial cholesterol, your body can't make that. So your testosterone starts to deplete. You start losing performance in the gym. Like I said, fats cause peristalsis in the guts. So that's the movement of the guts and like pushing food from top to bottom. So without the fats, you don't have as much of that going on. And they're also like a very big energy source for the body as well. The stuff that converts to fats is like bad sugars, carbohydrates, stuff like that, which like if you utilize them properly, it won't. But like I can eat nothing but like I think the leanest I ever was and the biggest I ever was at the same time, I was on like 7,800 calories a day, which sounds counterintuitive. Everyone's like, oh, calories in, calories out, and all that bullshit. But I was eating just straight beef mince, ghee and capsicum, like 3 or 4 massive meals a day. And I was losing probably 800 grams a week as well in pure fat. And that was just like fat, protein, vegetables. But your body, if you don't give it anything to make fat out of, it's not going to store fat.
Yeah.
It'll either get rid of it through waste or it'll use it for energy. There's a heap of people out there that are like, no, you have to eat calorie deficit and all that sort of bullshit, but you don't absorb all the calories you eat for one. So for the most part, they're in a deficit just by having shit gut health and not sleeping right. The other thing is, all you have to say to them is like, all right, I'm going to put you on 2,000 calories. You should lose weight, but I want you to only eat Maccas. And you start realizing very quickly that calories aren't calories. Certain foods have enzymes, certain foods don't. Certain foods have mineral content that aids in digestion, osmosis. Certain foods don't.
Yeah.
So foods that have enzymes actually break down and digest in the body. Foods that don't. So you don't get those calories.
Yeah.
So 500 calories is actually 180. So now you're in a massive deficit. Your body's stressing, and you're going to hold as much fat as you can for survival.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like seems counterintuitive to everyone, but everyone just like they just want calories because it makes everyone feel like a bodybuilder.
What's that Sam Sulek going about? He causes a bit of a ruckus, eh?
Yeah, he does. I respect the shit out of him because he doesn't push it on anyone.
Yeah.
And he doesn't change for nobody. It's what works for him. He looks great. But there's subtle signs. I see a lot. Same with like Liver King. I had so many kids coming in doing the carnivore diet, talking to me about their diets. They're all shitting their pants. They're all throwing up every day because you can't do a carnivore diet and eat fucking steak from Woolies every week. You have to be getting organic, grass-fed and finished steak. So grass-fed doesn't mean that cow ate
you're
grass.
just eating mostly pesticides if you go to Woolies every fucking
yeah. That and they're like always, oh yeah, grass-fed, but that's grass-fed. It doesn't mean it had grass its whole life. It has to be grass-fed and finished.
Yeah.
That means it died eating grass as well. And they were just eating all these raw steaks, coming in with all these gut problems, bacteria, infections, sick as all the time. And they don't realize that Liver King guy, like all the gear and all that, blah, blah, blah. But he was eating, like you said, they're massive tomahawks. It's all prepared by sous chefs, things like that.
Something about the Liver King that was completely misunderstood was the guy was a multi-millionaire.
Oh, yeah, big money.
The social media was to take the piss. It was an experiment.
Yeah.
The guy was...
You see about the food he was eating. Each one of those steaks probably cost about $280.
Yeah, bro.
They're massive.
I will say, some of his meals, I was like...
Yeah, pretty good, eh? Oh, you mean like the
some of the
stuff?
No. Some were rogue.
Yeah.
Like I'll have some fun. Like sometimes I go like some were like even for me like I don't get grossed out by much at all.
Yeah.
Blood, nothing really fazed me.
Yeah.
Some of the meals he was eating, I was like, dude, that is fucking that is a lot to take on.
100%.
But there was some where I was like, you're looking at the steak
and
some of the other meals there was there, and you're like, oh wow, like that.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's what it's meant to look like as well.
That's like that. Like back to Sam Sulek, he like phenomenal genetics for one, and obviously like gear use is another thing. But I'm not going to say it's all gear because I hate when people say oh, it's all steroids because he obviously trains very hard.
Look, I know plenty of blokes that take steroids and look the same.
100%. There's so many people at the gym that are on heaps of gear and look like dog shit.
Yeah.
But so that completely like it's not all the gear, it's not all genetics, but his food intake, you can see it subtly how bad it is. So he obviously looks great. He's big, he's full, very lean. But his acne was absolutely cystic and chronic for a long, long time. You can see when he does his videos, he's constantly regurgitating, having reflux through his like while he speaks, he's always burping, and he's around his face, the redness. Like I've got redness on my face from the stress. He has it from like you can see it's coming out of his diet, which I'm not going to knock him because it works. He looks great. But in saying that, like how much better could he look if he ate really clean? Probably a bit better as well.
Yeah.
But I got to respect him for he doesn't change for no one. He understands this is what he looks like. He's happy to sacrifice maybe his gut health and that sort of stuff to look good. And he's not going to sit there and like listen to someone like me and change his ways. And I can't like disrespect that. It's fair.
He's a fascinating character to watch from afar.
Yeah, I love it. I love his videos. Trains hard.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Yeah, he's just someone I've been watching. I just watch snippets and I go, wow, like this guy's lots to take on.
I like that he just doesn't care. Like Chris Bumstead follows him, doesn't follow him back.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a shit. Like just
I reckon Bumstead would rate that.
Yeah, he would for sure because it's like we were talking about before. The world's been lost in like everyone's just doing it to be like other people. There's heaps of kids doing it to be like Sam Sulek, but Sam Sulek's not doing it to be like anyone else. Yeah. He's being himself, and that's why it's so fascinating to watch him because there's someone there that's not following a trend. Like all these fucking Gymshark athletes and stuff, they're just doing whatever the trend is.
Gymshark shits me, man.
Whatever.
It's not even owned by Old Mate anymore.
Nah.
He got bought out.
Yeah, 100%.
He's just the face of it now.
Yeah, and like none of them are like competing or winning in shows. None of them are properly following nutrition plans or anything like that. Like for the most part, you see them in person, they're like pretty skinny. Like they're all 85 kilos lean and fucking. But they have massive followings on social media because they do all the trendy stuff. They go up to people in the gym and they interview them and they ask them stupid questions and yeah.
I can't stand that shit.
No, not at all.
You know how you're saying like Sam Sulek's just Sam Sulek?
Yep.
I often try and do that with myself.
Yes.
you obviously pay homage to people that were before you.
Yeah.
And you pay homage and you acknowledge inspiration when you have it.
Yeah.
But like when people go, oh, like you could be the next blah, blah, I was like, no, I just want to be Falcon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And like...
Yeah, but I assume so. Sulek probably got his workout ideas from someone. He probably like found his nutrition advice from someone as well. Like that's always influencing factors, but at the same time, it's what you make of it that determines whether you're them. Like if you start dressing exactly the same as someone, start changing your mannerisms and being a fake person for it, and then you're really just copying someone. It's not really you. I hate when people aren't true to themselves.
Yeah, not much that shits me more than that.
Nah, because like I'm not getting the real you, and I can't form a relationship with like an actor.
Yeah. Did you see my mantras for life on my Instagram story last night?
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah, don't you worry. I'll get them up right now.
Please do.
Yeah,
It's rife in the bodybuilding industry. Just every time some big trend comes up, like a Sam Sulek or a Liver King, I see it. Like 6 or 7 guys will come into the gym following that style, and you got to understand, like this kid's got like 1 in a million like genetics. He's in America for one, so they got a lot more access to stuff that we don't have. And you can't really replicate that in Australia. It just doesn't happen. Otherwise, we'd all be in the fucking Olympia by now.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Dude, I'd like to go on Olympia. All right. Life mantras after 23 years on Earth. You just mentioned this because you're talking about like people who stand on their own type of thing, you know? There's nothing you enjoy more. Number one, we're on a floating rock. I think that's often forgotten.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting is this, like the sky and the stars are below you as well. It's not just when you look up. We got like shit underneath us. We always forget about that.
Yeah, man. All the time.
All the time.
Dude, this is so far off like a podcast with a gym owner. Dude, I've just been looking up recently at like birds and stuff. I talk to Ollie about it all the time.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
I rate that. Every night I get home, I look up at the stars while I walk down the driveway.
Beautiful part about living in the Blue Mountains.
Yeah, it's incredible. No light pollution. You can actually see shit.
Well, bro, we think we have no light pollution. When you go camping out west, that's different, man.
I was out at Trundle once. It's like 7.5, 9 hours west, like around there. Just fucking see the milky.
Well, it's not pitch black because the sky illuminates the ground. Yeah, it's crazy out there, bro. Create and explore at all cost. So create things, explore the world, explore different ideas, concepts. Not just that. You know what I mean?
Don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah,
give it a crack.
And dude, just explore like ideas and beliefs in your head. You know, maybe you're wrong, maybe you're right, but at least explore and then explore the world for sure.
100%. Well, you don't find out unless you try.
Yeah, and just create shit. You know, like if I don't know, go home, sketch something. I don't know, just do something. Don't fucking sit down and watch some stupid mind-numbing bullshit. Love and give with no expectation of return. Expecting something in return defeats whole purpose.
Yeah, that's true. It's like all those videos you see of people like feeding the homeless and stuff. Like the second I see the video, I don't care anymore. I was like, go do it and don't video it. It's fucking awesome. And I love that. But when you got a camera in this poor guy's face that's down on his luck and like you're giving him food and stuff just to make yourself look and feel better, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
It does. That's one of my pet peeves.
Dude, I remember one of the first rappers I linked with Pistol Pete, and he went down the South Coast in late 2019, early 2020 for the bushfires to drop off stuff, and I gave him a bunch of clothing to drop off to people.
That's mad.
Helos clothing. But I didn't want to post it, but the way he was doing it, he was like, I'm going to drive down. I've got like, me and the boys have got like 4 vans.
That's awesome.
And they put it on socials. We've got 4 vans. Like, let's load it up.
Yep.
I can't afford to do both, like drive it down and then fill it up myself. And so, like, I reached out, and then he was like, well, let's take a photo and post it.
Yep.
And I felt like iffy about it. I feel if you're talking about it right now, I don't know if I should talk about it.
I feel like you're celebrating the occasion of doing that, and like it's a good memory to have with him.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily...
But like, yeah,
it's not the same.
You don't want to talk about it, you know? Like, you just want to do it because you want to do it.
100%.
And then speak your truth at all costs in any given moment. If you die tomorrow, at least you'll die an honest man.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's something I like. Try and maintain.
Yeah, I hold my tongue a lot when like I feel like I should have said something, and that's one of the things I'm talking about. Like I need to be more assertive, and there's certain things like I should have said that to someone, like, but I let it go ages ago, and I still think about like 4 years ago. Fuck, I should have said that. But at the same time, I'm always at least honest. Like if someone's doing something wrong, I'll say it to them. It's just whether or not I find in that moment it's going to be beneficial or not. That's the only time I won't say it.
Yeah, but you can't. Not everything can be immediately beneficial.
Nah, not at all. But I'm always honest to myself. Like if there's something I got to say, I'll say it. Or I'll be honest about that feeling. I'm not going to be denial about it and suppress it or something like that.
Yeah, dude. Life's a funny thing, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure out, you know, what's like right and wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's subjective.
Yeah.
Like,
and you'd be finding that with business and like just the whole gym culture.
Yeah.
And like, managing the gym itself, managing business itself.
Some members want something. Like I've had members tell me kick out the school kids because they like there's too many of them, this and that. But I was a school kid when I started. If my gym kicked me out, it'd break my heart.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go and kick. These kids are trying their best, coming after school, catch the bus down.
They're not on Fortnite.
Yeah,
like that's end of conversation.
The thing is, like the guys saying that are generally, they're not the ones giving back. Whereas there's guys in the gym that see a kid like doing something, they're like, hey man, do you want me to show you something? I'll show you how to do it like a bit better or something like that. They're the guys that I want in the gym. Like the people that see the school kids and they understand they're the next generation. They're the kids that are going to be in the gym for the next 10 years. They want to make sure they stay in the gym. Don't give them a shit experience. They drop off and go do something stupid. Like keep them in the gym, keep them growing, keep them doing well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, 110%. And we need that shit, man.
100%.
Kind of lost it for a bit there.
Yeah, I built a whole career out of just going to the gym.
Yeah.
And like I reckon there's plenty of kids that could do that as well. I'm seeing heaps of young kids as well, not sure what they want to do with their life, and they're turning their goals into like PT and things like that and really enjoying it, which is mad.
If you stick to something in one aspect of life, it's more often than not going to translate across the board.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And if you just prove to yourself that you can do something, that's what I found with running.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of proving to yourself.
Yeah, because the thing is with running, like there's times, there's this, that, but you're only really versing yourself when you run. It's like you can match yourself against old mate that runs the marathon in 2 hours. It's not going to happen. No. So you're not, but he's different. He's
Chogi, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Like, why would you compare against that? Because it's different facets. It's like anything, but running's like a whole different thing where, like Liam, he always comes in like stoked. And I was like, what is that? I beat my PT, like PB. And you could look at that and compare it next to that guy. That guy's smashing. But he's stoked because he beat himself and he's getting better and better and better.
That's what you can do, man.
Yeah, 100%.
That's just, I always felt that about like physical activity. Whenever you do something better than, and you're improving. Yeah. And you're turning up every day.
Yeah, 100%.
And some days you're going to be fucked. Like,
yeah.
You'd know it with the gym, man. Some days you have shockers.
I mean, I probably had...
But you went.
In the last 10 years, probably like a little bit over 2,500 workouts or something. Like, there's 20 I remember because they were just cracker. Rest are just like going with the motion, or some of them were like I always have intention in every workout. I try and progress somehow every workout, just be a bit better, do something a bit better, try a new exercise, something like that. But not all of them are good. No. Like some days I get in the gym, I'm like a little bit sick, or I'm tired, or fucking just can't be bothered, and I just hook in. And I'm like, whatever. Yeah. I'm disappointed in myself, but it is what it is.
You went.
Yeah, 100%.
It goes for anything in life, I reckon.
Oh, bro, some hotel workouts I've had, and they've got like a set of dumbbells up to 13 kilos and fucking one machine. Yeah. And I'll have a hectic workout in there. And then I'll go to like a world-class gym and I'll be having a shit day or something. I'm like, hey, this is shit. Yeah. So it's like it's a matter of what you make it for the most part.
Yeah, 110%. Now, what things do you think you could have improved on in opening the gym in hindsight, if anything?
We did it pretty good. There wasn't much that, like any hurdles that we really couldn't jump over. Yeah. I think I'd take a little bit more time with some things. Like we rushed opening it. We didn't open in like a bad state of low quality, but certain things, like some of the walls still have like little bits of like you can see where the gyprock was damaged behind it, because I was just so needing to get the gym open that we just painted over it black. Certain things like the gym progressed so fast. I wish I had taken time in each stage to write a proper like manual training thing for each stage of like the production. Yeah. So things like proper cleaning procedures, stuff like that. We've got it all now, but I didn't have it when I really needed it, and I should have done that right at the start. But looking back in hindsight, like it's one of those things where I was so busy at the time, I really can't imagine myself doing more at that point. Like it's like saying I should have bought Bitcoin 5 years ago. Like I probably could have thought about something else, but at the time I wasn't thinking about it. I didn't have the knowledge behind me to know it. So it's hard to like really be disappointed in myself in hindsight. But I don't think we could have done much better. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah. What are your plans for the future of like for yourself? For those listening, Jake's a bodybuilder, by the way. If you couldn't tell.
I don't really even classify myself as a bodybuilder. I always said like when I win a gold medal in bodybuilding, I'll call myself a bodybuilder, but still.
Shut up, man.
I feel like big, that's a bodybuilder. Like Stan's a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I train.
Yeah, well, you take one look at Jake, you tell him he's not a fucking bodybuilder, right? What's your plans for the future for yourself, but also for bodybuilding?
Myself, properties. Long, happy life with my girlfriend, Till.
Shout out Till, man.
Yeah, she's great.
Not easy to do what she did when you were opening the gym.
Nah, she was the best.
Yeah.
Like and always smiling.
Bring pizzas one night, dude. That was a pretty good night.
Yeah. And that was like the worst night. That was a stressful night.
That was
our security system went down.
Yeah, tell that yarn. I remember that.
The night before we opened, like the night before the doors opened for members, and I had 15, 20 messages on my phone saying, "Can't wait, bro." Like we handed out all the tags, all the 24-hour tags to the first 184 members or something like that, or 130 members, somewhere in that range. And they had all their tags. And I had all these messages saying, "Can't wait, I'm going to come at 4 a.m. and buzz in." And then I was like, sweet, everything's set. We'd cleaned. The machines were in place.
Saturday night, by the way.
Saturday night, all the TVs were set up. The music was on. Everything was pumping. And then I went to scan on the door and it didn't open. I was like, fuck. Try the next one. Didn't open. And our security system wasn't allowing tags to scan in. And I can't even remember what the fault was now, but it was something to do with our operating system wasn't talking to our security. So the operating system that has Harrison's tag with 90615, 20 other different numbers linked to it, when it clicked it, that wasn't registering that you were allowed in with the security. It had everyone as like no access, no hours, where it should be all access, all doors, all hours. So no tags would have worked to get in that door. So I stayed there till like a little bit after probably 1 a.m, manually putting every single number and name into our security system for that night with all those tags. And then just up until the members we had, I was like, I'll get it all fixed tomorrow. Like I'll call the security company, but no one was answering because it was like middle of the night on a Saturday. And so I sat there and I found the back end into our security system.
Bro, I swear one guy picked up and he was like watching something in the background and he was at home and you could hear like his kids in the background as well.
The security guy, he was a legend. So like right at the start, it was probably about 10, 11 o'clock. I called him and they've got this hectic system where, because they run our security system, you get this app and they can link into your computer and control it from their side. And he's got his kids screaming in the background. He's like, you could tell he was watching TV, probably having dinner. And his missus is talking in the background. He's like on the phone to me on his computer, connected to my computer in the gym, trying to figure it out. And he couldn't figure it out because it started with the doors wouldn't close at all. Like the doors were just staying open. So we figured all that out. Sweet. Come 11 o'clock, he finally found the back entrance, clicked it, the doors closed. I was like, hectic. And then none of the tags would work after that. So that's when I was like calling him, didn't answer again. He's probably like, fuck this guy. Like I just helped him answer it. But he probably didn't think that. He's a lovely guy. But after that, I linked everybody's name through one by one into the security system. And then at least I knew that they would work that day until I can get it fixed the next day. So we stayed there for ages. Till bought us pizza. You chilled for ages. You didn't have to, but it was mad. You just hung out for a good time. Yeah, I was stressed as I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was like, fuck this. Gym's about to open. I'm already having the biggest problem ever. And then eventually got it all sorted. Linked to the last member. Clicked to confirm. And it was done.
Yeah.
And that was sweet. And then we opened the next day.
Yeah, dude. Crazy, eh?
That one sucked.
Yeah. What were some other mishaps? Yeah, surely there was so many. I feel like there was more. Oh fucking!
Yeah.
When they were removing shit, what they did to the walls.
Oh yeah, so they just hired the cheapest, quickest removalist they could. And to be fair, the guy was mad. His name was Emmanuel. He's a very lovely guy, friendly as. But his directive from UFC was fast, don't care about damage, and they were paying him like a day rate to do it. So he was coming in the middle of the night, and basically they had all this signage on the wall, and it was just like generic signage of people running that would say like training. I was like, just leave it, I'll paint over it. They're like, no, it has to come down. I was like, why? And they're like, we've trademarked the word training. I was like, I don't think that's legit because it's a fucking verb. You can't, or adjective. You can't trademark doing words because I'll just fucking write something on the wall. But I was like,
when you said that, I was talking to someone today about that shit, and I was like, dude, they can't trademark that word. It's a normal word.
Yeah. And like, what are you going to do? Sue me because I have training written on the wall? But it was something like the font that it was in the car. I was like, whatever. I was like, I'll just paint it black. And they're like, no, it has to come down. I was like, just leave it because it's a nice, smooth surface. I'll paint it black. He's like, no, because if the paint fades, you'll be able to see it. I'm like, you don't understand. I don't want your logos on my wall. Yeah. If it fades, I'll paint it again. And then they're like, no, it has to come down. So they got these massive metal scrapers and just ripped the gyprock to shreds, like pulled holes all through it. Big, like it looked like someone walked along the wall and just went fucking bang, bang, punched holes all through it. Which gave us shit because the walls had to get re-rendered, re-gyprocked, re-patched, everything. And that was like, I just wanted to paint and then be done in like a day. But that pushed us back 2 weeks because I had to get someone to come in on like a scaffolding, go around the whole gym, which each wall was like 50 meters long, and re-gyprock every little patched bit. And then I had to wait 2 days for that to dry. Second coat, had to wait 2 days for that to dry. Sanding, had to wait 2 days. I had to wait a day after that, and then I could finally paint. But I had to go through and wipe off all the walls to get all the dust off it and then finally paint it all. So they destroyed all that. As he was taking the octagon out, he had it on like a dolly, and each beam weighed like 290 kilos, went straight into some bloke's car out the front, put a big dent in the side of that. Started stealing our shit. Like I bought heaps of stuff for the gym and was storing in there, and they just started taking it. I was like, it's mine. And he's like, no, everything's got to go. I was like, no, I bought this today. Yeah. I was like, this is not yours. And they already had it like fucking wrapped up, going onto a truck, and I'd have to pull it off the truck. We had an agreement in our contract with the previous tenant that we were going to keep the weight plates and the dumbbells, which would have saved us heaps of money. We're just going to get the rubbers taken off and re-put on with our logos on it. But I was in the city at a restaurant with Till for I think it was our 7-year anniversary, and my phone's gone ballistic, and I was like, fuck, turn it over. I didn't want to hear it. Going for like 20 minutes straight. I finally look over, turn up, pick it up. It's Stan saying that they're taking all of our weight plates and dumbbells. And I sent him the extract from the contract stating that they're ours, we keep them. He showed that. They started unloading them, and then the dickhead from UFC that ended up getting sued and leaving Australia, he rocks up and he's like, nah, it's all going. And he tells the guys to load it on the truck. So they take all our weight plates and dumbbells, which is like, that was another 15, 20 grand we weren't expecting to pay, but we had to buy all new weight plates, all new dumbbells with like 3 days notice, which was ridiculous. And then that, and just like stealing heaps of stuff. So like all the stuff that wasn't UFCs that the tenant left, like hair dryers, like straighteners in the bathrooms, things like that. They were trying to steal like paper towel holders and stuff like that. And the directive was everything with the UFC logo goes. I was like, sweet. And we have this big, like massive light box at the front when you walk in, which has our logo on it now. They were going to take the whole box, which is like a big gyp-rocked box, just because it had UFC on it. And like, no. And they're like, no, it has to come off. So me and Stan got a screwdriver, went up there and ripped all the logos off it. And they walked in the next day, like, yeah, take your logos, fuck off. Yeah. And then there's this massive board in there when you walk in, the big black board. That didn't even have UFC on it, just had a big picture of a stadium. And we wanted to keep it. We wanted to put some cool shit on there or something. And they're like, nah, whole thing's got to come down. And so Stan snuck in and painted it all black. And they got in there and they were like the removalist. He didn't want to do it because it's a big job. He's like, no, this is like a professional job. He's like, we can leave this. I'm happy with this. There's fucking Stan in the middle of the night with like the black thing. And then the last one was the big light boxes on the front, like the massive signs. Yeah. And we wanted to keep those because they're like 10 grand each. Like they light up. They got a huge logo on it, everything. And they were like, no, whole light box is coming down. I was like, no, just take the film. Like there's a vinyl veneer film that says UFC gym on it. Just take that off. And he's like, I've got to take the whole light box. I was like, no, like we're keeping those light boxes. Like they're the best. And Stan was like adamant on keeping them. And I like, don't blame it. They're expensive, like ridiculous. You need a crane to put a new one on, everything like that, all the wiring and everything. Anyway, they started talking about they're going to hire a crane to come in and pull them off and everything. And then it came to like the last day, and they started trying to make us pay rent. Like the last tenant had sent us a bill for the rent. And I was like, no. Like our rent starts when your removalists finish their job. And he's like, we got the invoice they finished yesterday. So I sent him back a bunch of photos of all the octagons still in there, cut up, and everything still splattered across like the place. And the UFC guy said, like, because he was getting in heaps of trouble because he was going like a week or two over the designated date because they hired one guy to do the whole removal list instead of actually spending money. He's like freaking out a bit. I was like, you let me keep the light boxes and I'll sort all this stuff with the other tenant. And he's like, yeah, okay. So we kept both light boxes. Yeah, man. But then that removers came in that night and took the octagons out anyway. Yeah. Which was sweet. But yeah, they destroyed a lot of our windows, a lot of our walls, everything. Crazy. Left holes in the ground everywhere. Yeah, it's fucked.
There you go, man. That's what it's like to open a fucking gym.
Yeah, stressful. If they didn't do any of that, we would have been able to reopen in about 2 weeks. But because they messed it up, it extended to like a month and a half.
Perfect timing, huh? Like it's just everything works out.
Yeah, everything works out. Gave us more times to do pre-sign-ups and build hype for it and all that sort of stuff and get it right as well.
What's the plans for the future?
We're going to expand, open new clubs everywhere. We're like franchising, very selective, but because you need to keep continuity between the gym. Yeah. If you go into another BodyBuilder health club, it has to be the same as the one in Penrith. You can't go into another one and it's shit with no culture, with bad equipment, with that sort of stuff. So we're very selective, but we are looking to like franchise in the future. So we'll find location, manage it properly so that it stays with the same like level of quality, culture, and like expertise and knowledge in that like area, and then just progressively expand throughout Australia. We want it to be like because you got World's Gym, you got Gold's Gym, you got Powerhouse. They're all American. and they're all like American gyms. We're doing like the big Aussie gym. So we want to be the first independent, like heavy duty Aussie gym, like floating around Australia with clubs everywhere. So you can go in, like all our dumbbells are Aussie strength dumbbells. Our bumper plates have Aussie strength written on them. All of our, like in our posing room, we have big mural with like all these bodybuilders painted around. It's Australian bodybuilders like Hattie Boydell, Callum Von Moga, Stan, myself, Danny Hearn, Stan's best mate, and Lockie, my best mate. Leanne up there as well. They're all Australian bodybuilders. Like we want to represent Australia. We want to like progress our athletes forward. Because no offense, like we love Ronnie Coleman, we love Jay Cutler. Never gonna fucking meet them. They're not gonna come over and like come and say hello to a young 14-year-old kid training at a random gym. But these Australian athletes, they do train at the gym. Like big Mike Pearson, Aaron Polides, like these really good athletes. They've been to the gym before, and you'll be able to meet them. Yeah. So we want those to be like our focus moving forward. I want you to walk in and see your mate up on the wall, not like some random American guy.
Big time.
Yeah.
How about the dude that painted that room, eh?
Yeah.
For those listening, when you talk about like an artist, I see it in music, bro. Yeah. They are. The way they operate is fascinating. Yeah. And that guy you were saying was just standing there looking at the...
incredible. I checked the cameras one night because I got a notification and I was like, I looked in the posing room and he's standing there like this, looking at the wall and like sizing it up. And then I was like, oh, cool. And I fast forwarded 2 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes. He's just still standing there looking at the wall. I was like, what the fuck? So I went back and he does not move for that whole time, just standing there. And he's just looking at the wall, like probably painting it in his head. And he's the type of guy like I'm talking to him, showing him a photo. I was like, can you do this photo? Very intricate photo, shot of someone posing. And he like looks at it for 2 seconds. He's like, yeah. Yeah. But how's your day? And he's like, yeah, good. Like just very, very blank. But then he's incredible.
Bro,
like,
how'd you find him?
He found us. Stan was in the shop, the Penrith shop one day, and this guy just walked in. He's like, oh, I can paint your shutter. And he's like, what? He's like, your front shutter, when it goes down, I can paint stuff on it. And he's like, oh, cool. And like got his Instagram and he's like, I'll send you some photos. They put through a design and it was that original design of it's Dennis Wolf sitting on a chair, like hitting a rear double. And then Stan's like, can you put a like Body Beyond hat on it? And he's like, yeah. And then that was kind of it. That's all we heard. Like the agreed upon amount was like cheap as, like way too cheap for like what it was. And then I come in one morning, it was like a Thursday morning, and I look at the shutter and I was like, oh my God, there's this beautiful artwork all over it. And then on the pole outside, there's like a little sticky taped piece of paper with like a really crudely drawn outline of the photo. And turns out what he does is he does this like little drawing and then projects a light through it. And he just gets the outline and then everything else is by hand with a spray can. And I just rocked up and he just did it in the middle of the night one night. And then that whole room, it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 7 people on the wall. And like that's 7, they're like probably 15 feet tall. He did it all in like 3 days.
Nuts.
And their detail is incredible. Like you can look at it and you know from the face, it's like a photograph. He does it all by freehand. And it's one of those things where we're walking in, Stan's like, can you make that bicep a little bit bigger? And he's like, yeah. Just perfect.
Yeah.
In like 2 seconds.
Bit of Banksy about him.
Yeah.
Like what? Because I think I came in a few days before he started. Yeah. Then I came in a few days after he was done.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
That's incredible.
Like that was stupid. Like how did this happen? Like
just absolutely
the detail on it, bro.
Yeah, I've referred him to a few mates that have gyms now, and he'll do like murals this like 20 foot high by 10 feet in a day, about 6 hours, and then they come out like photographs. And he just does it with a spray can and a little airbrush.
Oh, nuts.
And like he says about 3 words. Stan gets along really well. Like they have good conversations. I don't know how he broke past the barrier, but like I get about 2 words out of him, and then what he translates from like there to there is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah,
Micah Nagel, that's his name.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
He's an incredible artist.
Ideally, we already touched on it. Ideally, what does Body Beyond Health Club become? Yeah, we already kind of touched on it, right? Yeah. Just the first Australian independent franchise.
Kind of like not even a world gym, like just a big independent no loyalty, entity. We're our own thing. Like we're not going to answer to anybody. Like we do what we want to do, sort of thing. Not like that. I don't give a fuck sort of thing. But like we're going to keep our culture and we're going to do what we find is successful. We don't have any big governing body above us. It's me and Stan. So like if we want to put up a post that's like political, edgy, or funny as, just going to post it. Yeah. Like, not going to sit there and be like, oh, you shouldn't post that. It's fucking funny. Post it 100%. Like I won't get into it. Some of the posts we put up have been pretty like on the borderline.
Yeah.
It's good. And like, to be fair, they're the ones that get the most laughs and the most reactions. And it's generally like it's the people you'd think would get offended by it. They fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like, they just love the fact that someone's willing to joke about stuff these days and not be so uptight about everything.
Yeah. I think a lot of people enjoy that.
Yeah, just because it's honest.
Yeah, dude. That was when I put my thing up with John Barilaro, the guy who redirected $100 million in Blue Mountains bushfire funds. Yep. And that, like, I put all the evidence on. So for those listening, John Barilaro was in office. $100 million in bushfire funds for the Blue Mountains was never allocated because we had a Labor seat. He was Liberal, or vice versa. Fuck, whatever it was. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and yeah, he just misdirected the $100 million, right, and put it into Clubs New South Wales. Mm-hmm. So basically for pokies.
Yep.
Fuck. Anyway, I put up that post, and then I was like, the last thing was like a black screen. It was like, fuck John Barilaro, that fucking weak dog. His day's coming. And bro, all these people are just messaging me from like just all spectrums of like different people, and they're like, yeah, dude, fuck him, man.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, good on you.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah. That was when I realized like people enjoy people putting their neck out, you know?
Well, I was like, one of the scary times in my life was when the whole COVID vaccine thing was going on, because I didn't get vaccinated. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, my friends are going to not want to hang out with me. I'm going to go to the club. I walked in, everyone's like, yeah, fuck, I wish I didn't get vaccinated. I was like, bro, it didn't treat me no different. People actually like commended it. Yeah, that's what I was so like, because when you're in lockdown, all you hear is like, oh, you're a criminal if you don't get vaccinated, you're killing everybody. But no one gave a shit. All my mates were like fucking checking my fake passport, being like, that's fucking mad, it looks better than mine. And like just having a like proper crack, and it didn't change anybody, which was mad.
Dude, I was reading a book called Everything Is Fuck by Mark Manson. He did The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah.
And he's just saying like everything in life is just the more you can divide, the more you can conquer.
Yeah.
So you just drive division as hard as you can in any aspect of this life, the more you'll conquer.
Yeah.
Like the more people you get on your side,
yep.
and the more common enemies you have, the more likely you are to do more. Like, he's like, it's fucked, but that's based off pattern recognition over the past few hundred years that we have.
Yep.
It's like, that's just what works. It's like, it's crazy. That's how we operate.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing. You reminded me of that. It's just divide
100%.
and conquer.
Yep.
And it's such a sad way we live. But what do you do, man?
That's the thing is a lot of the people, when they are dividing, they're selling to both sides, and that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
It's like the whole proverb with war is you own all the hospitals and the bandages, and you also own the company that sells the guns.
Yeah.
And so this is killing people and this is saving them, and you're making money from both sides. Doesn't matter who wins.
Yeah.
You're making bank.
Dude, sorry we got to this point. We've been here for 2 hours. Maybe you learn a thing or two. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you think we're idiots. It's neither here nor there to us. We'll show up with a smile and give you a big hug if we see you. Thanks for hopping on, brother.
I appreciate it.
First hat trick of Helos and Homies, man.
Get me on Sunday League.
Yeah, dude, you'd kill it. Fuck you. This guy brought his fucking dog who's the size of Scooby-Doo, Ruger. Bro, he's going to kill someone, eh?
Yeah, he gets a bit anxious when you kick the ball around because it's not his ball.
And Jake rocked up for when we're versing the team we don't get along with. If anyone listens to this podcast weekly, you know about this stuff. And you're yelling out from the sideline,
poor goalie. Yeah. You can see your fucking tits through the shirt.
And there's me running around. Who's he talking to?
Liam had the best comedy. He's like, why are you wearing a hat? What are you hiding? And he's like,
bro, that same keeper, we played him another time, and he was like, bro, he called Jez shit. He got a hat trick on him. Jez like, who the fuck are you talking to?
The one player on the team that's played professional football in Europe.
Just like, what are we talking about? But I think those moments where we're like, so we're going on a tangent, people. Bro, those moments where like Jez has been called shit in Sunday League.
Yeah.
He like, he knows he's just so far above, but it also hits him at the same time where he's 100%. Like, bro, I think it's hit him where he's like, oh, fuck, I'm playing Sunday League at the age of 23. Like, I thought I could be in the Champions League by now.
4 years ago, he's playing for Cheltenham. In, like,
bro, like Callum Wilson, who just played against Dortmund in the Champions League. Like, that's who he's playing against. And then he lines up with me as his captain coach. And Peter is his right back. Oh, dude. Good times. Anyway, see you next week. Shout out Riley Kennedy, Callum Bagatella, Dylan Walton, Peter Kladikoff, Jesper Gary, Jimmy Jam. Who else is there? Ollie. Lachlan Atkins.
Yeah, Lockie Atkins.
Shout out Ollie, the Jamie of Joe Rogan for tonight. Shout out. That's it.